Hi, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. Today, I want to talk about parties and celebrations, some of which are completely unnecessary. So, growing up in the 80s and 90s, there were some parties that we always had. We had birthday parties. In my family, we had typically a family party. My dad was like one of nine, so there was like a huge extended family. So we had the family party, and then we had the kids party, and one was obviously with my extended family, and the other was with my friends from like school and the neighborhood and stuff. Um, some kids had them in a combined fashion. It varied, but we had those. Adults didn't really have birthday parties, though they did have the 30th birthday, the 40th over the hill birthday, the 50th was a big one, and frequently, I can't remember whether it was 40 or 50 where they did all black, maybe both. But only milestone birthdays for the most part. Um, if you were pregnant for the first time, they would typically have a baby shower. Getting married, you may have a wedding shower. But that was pretty much it. And a lot of them were simpler. It wasn't so gauche. We'll go with gauche is the word. I think that's the word I'm thinking of. Now, your first baby, you have a shower. Then every subsequent one, you have a sprinkle. That's a lot of work. In addition, you don't just have the showers and sprinkles, you have to have the gender reveals. I hate gender reveals. I think they are the stupidest thing in the world. I actually told everybody, I'm like, no, I'm not going to tell you what gender my baby's going to be. Mainly because if I had a girl, I didn't want to get stuck with all this pink crap. And so then when I found out I was having a boy, I did say it. And they're like, I thought you weren't going to say it. And I was like, yeah, I was like, I just didn't want a bunch of pink crap. And they're like, so why didn't you just say you're not going to tell anybody if you're having a girl? I'm like, because then if I didn't tell anybody, you all would have figured out that I'm having a girl. Um, but I wanted more of like a gender neutral kind of a thing, and not all this like girly stuff. And plus, like, you want to see something terrible, feel something terrible, go to a baby area, baby aisle in any department store, Target, Walmart, Kohl's, whatever, and go and look at the boys' outfits and the girls' outfits for infants and feel the fabric. Girls are more likely to have a tight and itchy elastic around their thighs, which is going to cause heat prickly. The fabrics are not as soft as the boys. The fits aren't as loose and like baggy and comfy and cozy as the boys. The boys' clothes are a lot more comfortable, and the thing is, it's a baby. We don't need to have it be all cute and frilly and tight little clothes and little belly sticking out. It's a baby. The baby needs clothes that fit and are comfortable and feel good on its skin. Sorry, I just when my niece was born, I only ever bought her boys' clothes. Uh, you know, which is cool because my sister's not into pink either. But so yeah, gender reveals I think are so stupid, and people leave such a mess. I remember when my kid, for his science fair project one year, he did like this whole like beach cleanup thing, and he monitored the trash at the beach, and these people had done a gender reveal, and they left all of this glitter and confetti and paint. And it wasn't like just like the paper biodegradable confetti. It was like that silver mylar confetti all over. At the time we lived in Southwest Florida. The park we were at was on the Caloosahatchee. In case you don't know, the Caloosahatchee, so we lived in Cape Coral, and the reason it's a cape is because it's got the river on the one side and the Gulf of Mexico on the other. And so the that Caloosahatchee leads right to the ocean. I don't know if you know this, but latex, plastic, and mylar are not good for ocean life. I know you're thinking, save the turtles, give them some mylar balloons. That's not the key. It's not. Anyways, I digress. I'm supposed to be talking about parties, and I'm all bent out of shape about pollution. But gender reveals, completely unnecessary. It's just another expense. It's an expense for you. It's an expense for your friends who have to buy a gift. It's unnecessary. The bachelor and bachelorette parties have gotten out of control. I remember my ex-boyfriend. So God, this was like, we broke up in like 2012. So this was quite a few years ago. And he was planning, throwing a simple bachelor party for his friend. And then the fiance wanted like this big thing where they started out the bachelor and bachelorette party in Chicago, and everybody had like this thing with pizza and blah 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 blah. And then they went and they did their own things. They like separated, so it was like the whole big group, and then they separated out into boys versus girls. And I think he said that the bachelor party alone ended up costing him over $1,000. And then he had additional expenses at the wedding too, because anything that had been forgotten, he had to run out and pay for. I was just like, dang. I would have told the bride, nope, I am sorry, I don't care. But he loved his friend, and he wanted his friend to be happy, and that's how he did it. He was obviously a nicer person than me. So yeah, that's unnecessary. And now people like have destination bachelor parties. It's ridiculous. It really is. And completely unnecessary. Though I really think Gen Z may be making a turn, because as I'm talking to more younger people, I'm hearing them say that they think that bachelor parties and bachelorette parties are dumb, and that if you need to have a bachelor party or a bachelorette party to have one more night of freedom, then maybe we shouldn't get married. Maybe you're not ready to commit. If you need to have like some big thing like that, maybe you're not ready. It's a different way to look at it, but and I'm not judging the bachelor or bachelorette party. It's not a moral judgment. I'm just saying, financially they're getting ridiculous. But we have parties for everything. And God, they're so expensive. They're not like they were when we were younger. So just stop. Stop having all of these over-the-top parties for everything. And it'll be okay. It doesn't have to be this super ridiculous thing. You don't have to have a gender reveal party. Sprinkles are unnecessary. Ridiculously expensive destination weddings are unnecessary. having everybody everybody do those big bachelor and bachelorette parties where it's like a destination party. Again, unnecessary. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you are a bride or a groom and you think that it's okay to expect people to pay for special outfits, pay for airfare, pay for the special trip so that you can have a special bachelor or bachelorette party and then come to your wedding, and again pay for all the expenses because you want to have it at a destination, and then on top of it buy you a stinking gift, or what's worse, the tackiest thing I think I've seen are these people who then are like, you're so privileged to be invited to my wedding, here's your admission charge, and they still want a gift. So they expect you to come, pay for the plate, and then buy them a gift. That's just like weird and selfish. That's over the top. So start making things simpler. Eliminate some of the unnecessary celebrations and parties. When I was younger, you know how people found out what gender the baby was? Now hear me out. They would ask the parents, and the parents would say either, we don't know yet, we haven't found out, we're waiting till the baby's born, it's a boy, or it's a girl. Imagine that. And you know, they may have to answer that question many, many times. But guess what? Even if you have a gender reveal party, you're going to have to answer it many times because strangers are going to ask you that question. So I am all about get-togethers and bonding. But some of these parties are so over the top. We don't need fireworks. We don't need to start things on fire or pollute or have $1,000 cakes to find out we're having a boy or a girl. You just don't. And I know most gender reveal cakes aren't $1,000, but I saw something once where one of them was, and I was like, dang, that is ridiculous. So just stop with all of the unnecessary over-the-top parties. Celebrate, but within reason. You don't have to have a party for everything. I mean, like, for crying out loud, what's next? I took a poop today. Let's have a party. It's a poop party. Like, come on, people. Some of these parties are just... And the thing is it's not like you're even... It doesn't even feel like celebrating. It feels like this great big parade of excess. And maybe I sound judgy. Maybe I'm getting old. Maybe it's because I took a really long time to take to social media. Like a really long time. I didn't get on Facebook until 2017, and I still regret even getting on it. So, yeah, so it's kind of dumb, completely unnecessary. Anyways, again, my name's Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. If you want to hear more, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.